You are listening to the Green Dudes podcast, the only Green Day podcast that matters. You are here with myself, Mr. Connor Mack. I'm your host, and as always, I am here with my best pal in the Green Day verse, my BFFFFFFFFFFFL, my Green Day comrade in arms, Dude Wife for life, and today, especially, Mr. Birthday Boy.
Yep.
Mr. Connor Kelly. Connor, how are you doing today on this most special of days?
Yeah. I'm doing all right. It's like every day you're getting older.
Yes.
Every second.
Yeah.
You're always getting older. But today I'm a year older than I was last year, 1 year ago.
Yeah.
And
last night.
That's right.
You're officially old. You're older than you were last night.
Yeah, that's right. And as they say on the Rugrats All Growed Up theme song,
yep.
Another year older and another year wiser.
How does that? I forget what the theme song is for that show. Could you?
I can. Yeah, I can maybe sing it all from memory. You
please
ready?
do.
You
yeah.
ready? Okay.
Yeah,
it goes. Wait. It goes. How does it start? It's like, I don't know if I'm gonna get the beginning of it,
okay.
But so from where I was, it's like, oh, you're another year older, another year wiser, but you still go to school to get an education each and every day, like a mini vacation.
Yeah.
All grown up, I really want to shout it out.
Yeah.
All grown up, I want the world to know. All grown up, I really want to shout it out. All grown up with you.
Wow.
All grown up with you.
Was that secretly like one of the best power pop songs of the early 2000s?
Yes, it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
All Grown Up. I think I'm actually an All Grown Up defender.
No.
It was pretty fun.
I actually think that All Grown Up was pretty good, and the thing is, it came at a time when having like the Legacy reboot thing was like novel.
That was before the oversaturation.
Yes, and I think that All Grown Up actually it holds up.
Yes,
it's grown up and it holds up.
It all holds up.
It holds up. If you go back and you rewatch Rugrats All Grown Up, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not as good as Rugrats.
It's never going to be
timeless.
It can never be match the heights of Rugrats.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is not a Rugrats podcast. That is to come.
We will
get
future.
To that. We will get to that. But we did mention, today is our co-host here is his birthday, and he mentioned getting older, and it's very funny because like people say like, oh, you're asked on your birthday like, oh, how do you feel? Do you feel any older? And most people are like, oh no, same old shit, same shit, different day. That's what everyone says. But I actually witnessed an incredible thing today. And it is I actually saw in real time the aging process.
Yeah.
It was really it was incredible.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't know that it happened so fast.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Just mere moments ago here, because if you can tell, Connor and I, we're in person.
We're together.
We are live in the flesh today.
Connor came to visit me for my birthday. Yeah. We saw a rock show together.
We did. We saw a rock show. We saw a rock show together on Billy Joe Armstrong's birthday.
That's right.
Really,
Which
just
means
yesterday, just to celebrate the spirit of him and rock and roll. But anyways, this morning, just a little bit ago, like an hour ago, Connor, swore up and down to me that he had an iPhone 8. He was like, yeah, I got an iPhone 8 because I was showing him the new charger on the new iPhones. He was like, I got an iPhone 8. Yeah, I got it in 2018. It's been a long time. And I was like, I could have swore you got like a brand new iPhone like a couple of years ago, and it was like one of the newer ones.
Yeah.
And you're like, nope, I've had this iPhone for just under a decade.
Yeah, it would have been coming up on a decade.
Yeah, and I was like, are you sure? That's crazy. And then we went into the settings and checked. Sure enough, it's this motherfucker has an iPhone 14 Plus.
And an iPhone 14 Pro.
Oh, Pro.
You're having your own senior moment. I know.
Sure, I wouldn't call that.
And the thing is, you'd be able to tell just by looking at the camera because
it's got the 3 cameras.
This is not an iPhone 8 at all.
iPhone, they didn't have that technology back then.
No.
They only had the technology to put 1 camera on per. It was 1 camera per phone back then.
Yeah.
And now even the lesser models have 2. See, I have an iPhone 15 regular. This has 2 cameras. Like, I don't need both. I need the one's fine.
The good thing is if you break one, you still have the other one.
True. You got a backup camera.
Yeah, no, that's true though. Like I guess I had what you could call a senior moment.
Yes,
I really did. Like, a part of my memory was gone, and I've said that my memory is bad.
Yeah.
Every time we do the like, have we seen the song live or whatever?
Yeah.
Pretty much every time I'm like, Connor, I don't remember anything I've ever done. I don't really remember any shows I've ever been to. Like once it's over, it's gone.
Yeah.
I'm like an insect or something that way. It's like just in the present do I experience reality, and then everything else just it disappears afterwards, But this was a real lapse in my memory. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean and we both kind of talked about getting older. I have my own issues. I have knee problems now. Yeah, I might be getting a knee replacement soon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm dealing with. I'm just I'm a couple of years younger than this old coot.
And look at you, you're just skin and bones.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, look, see, this is the skeleton. This is I mean, I think it's a pretty cool T-shirt. Personally, I think it's a pretty cool T-shirt. I found it at a thrift shop.
Yeah, you just had to buy it.
I had to buy it. Yeah, so this is a very special episode. Connor's got his mimosa he's sipping, just in celebration of his birthday.
Yeah,
and yeah, we are here in the flesh, bringing you a special episode. Yeah, because it's Connor's special birthday, 72nd birthday, and yeah, it's the day after our Lord and Savior Billy Joe Armstrong's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And like I mentioned, we went to see some live rock and roll last night. We saw Titus Andronicus and Eve 6.
Yes.
Now, I mean,
it's a good show.
It was a good show. It was a lot of fun. I was like really exhausted. I had been up since 5 a.m, got like 4 hours of sleep. But and this really happens most concerts. The band goes on and I perk right up. I feel alive just in that moment. Then the band ends again. I feel like death.
Right. It's the two extremes.
It's the two extremes. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, Eve 6, they're certainly not like a Green Day contemporary, but they, they've had hits in the same eras.
Mm-hmm,
so,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think what a better way to honor the man himself than go to a rock and roll show.
Yeah. That's probably what he would tell you to do.
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
If it was like, Billy, what do you want for your birthday? He'd be like, go support live music.
Yeah.
Go see a rock and roll show, or better yet, start a fucking rock and roll band, And we've already done that, so might as well just keep going to shows.
Yeah, we're done with music. We've been there, done that. It's we're going to shows from now on. But yeah, Billy Joe himself, he's been celebrating his birthday abroad. The band is I think they've had a few shows in Malaysia.
Mm-hmm.
And other countries other places in that area. The
area of Malaysia.
The area of Malaysia.
The Malaysian area.
Yeah. You all know what I'm talking about. And they've pulled out some deep cuts for these shows.
Yeah, what? They just played One of My Lies?
We just saw this morning they played One of My Lies. Which is, obviously an incredible track. One that I think both we were lucky enough to see.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
That as much shit as I'm giving myself, that I remember.
Yes.
That I remember. That was our 2016 show.
Yeah. Yeah. That was fucking awesome. And then they brought back Forever Now, put it into the set list.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously it's nothing that I'm gonna complain about because I love that song and it's really cool they brought it back. But I wonder why, because obviously there was some. We had some discussion, and there was some discussion online about this, but they're going to these countries kind of with stricter rules about performances and lyrical content and stuff like that. And so it just makes me wonder if they rejig the set list a little bit, and that's kind of why they're pulling out some deeper cuts.
Yeah.
So I have not paid attention to what they have replaced the songs that they're playing with, but there might be some reason for that.
It could be. It would be interesting if that was their thought process, though, and they played One of My Lies, because you would think a song about, like...
all I want to do is get real high.
And, sort of, like, seeing, like, oh, well, kind of like a losing your religion sort of thing.
True. Yeah, that could be...
It's not very, like, overt or explicit. Like,
true.
It's not like a blasphemous song, you know, but... there's something to be said about it, like, oh, it's like self-actualization, think for yourself. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, we'd have to go through the set lists to figure that out. Maybe we will at some point, but it's always cool seeing them play different things. So that's exciting. Connor, you sent me a couple of and this is disappointing because we are in person, which is very cool.
Yes,
but we can't, like, it's harder to share videos on the stream or on the broadcast.
That's a good thing. We don't want to do that.
Well, there's there was that video. I'm not sure if you saw the video of Trey Cool singing Wonderwall.
Oh, I did actually.
Yeah,
I did actually see that.
What'd you think about that?
It was fine.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I sent it to you.
You didn't even watch it, and you sent it to me? Yeah.
I don't love watching videos with sound.
That's a very millennial kind of thing.
To
watch videos on mute, I think.
Is it?
A little bit, I think so. And Gen Z probably too.
Maybe. You think it's a it's a Generation Alpha thing?
I really don't know. I can't speak to that.
Okay.
I can't speak to that.
Yeah, well, because I'm usually listening to something else. I don't want to be interrupted on scrolling. So
you're just watching Trey Cool like stand there singing Wonderwall, but like not actually hearing it at all.
I'm just trying to imagine it a little bit. They've been having fun out there on tour. They announced another festival that they're playing in Maryland. I think it's Ocean's Calling, and that it makes me want them to announce some festivals closer to the tri-state area. I think there is a good chance that we get them playing somewhere that we can jet off to. Now that we can't go to Maryland, we could.
Yeah, we could.
It's in September, I think. So there is time. We could go to Maryland for that concert.
Tell me when it's time to go to Maryland.
Yeah, beautiful. It was good. It's a great harmony too. We just
I told you we were in a band.
We just fucking killed it. Wow. So the other thing in Green Day news is this comedy movie.
The movie.
This Green Day comedy movie.
I think we're gonna be crossing some more stuff off our bingo card.
Yes, absolutely. Because we had a Green Day cameo in movie or something, right?
Yeah. So far, every bingo prediction that it has or will seemingly come true has been yours.
Okay. Well,
I'll say.
I gotta say, that's true for the bingo predictions. But you got didn't you get something right?
The Billie Eilish,
Billy Joe collab.
Yeah, but it wasn't. That was pre-bingo card. Yeah, but I did say it.
You did.
It is. You can go back and listen to it. We can see the future.
We can.
And then we forget it because our memories are so bad.
That's kind of a curse.
Yes.
That's to have prescience, but then curse to forget it.
But, oh fuck! I knew I had a vision about that.
Yeah, that's a good story idea for you writers for Brandon Sorensen,
Brandon Sanderson?
Brandon Sanderson.
Yep.
Yeah, Brandon Sanderson, who's a famous author that we watched a video of.
Yeah.
We were watching all these
little
videos. We watched
a whole bunch of videos.
We were watching all these little videos on YouTube. YouTube has these the shorts now. They're called YouTube Shorts, I think.
Yeah.
Where people where people just make these little videos or
Yeah.
just like 10, 20 seconds long, and we just scroll through them.
Yeah.
We actually, the topic of today's episode is the song "Coming Clean,"
That's right.
which is a song on Dookie, of course. We watched a couple. Well, we watched some people playing covers of that song. That was pretty fun.
It was good.
We also
spirit of rock and roll is well and truly alive.
It is, and I mean, we also did watch a video of what was it? It wasn't a Green Day ranking. It was what percentage of Green Day fan you are.
Yeah. We're really gonna have to do.
We're gonna have to show
discussion on this sometime. But it was like just some weird DJ kid, and he might be famous. I don't know.
They all are. It's okay.
Right. Somewhere in some pocket of the internet, they're all famous somewhere. Just like us,
of course,
right?
Of course.
But it was like, what percentage of Green Day fan are you? How big of a Green Day fan are you? And it would start at like 10, 20, 30, all the way up to 100. And I think the idea was that it was playing like most mainstream or popular to
most obscure.
Yes.
That's the thought.
And obviously it was not that way at all. I'm kind of wondering if it was meant to be like Green Day fan rage bait, because it just seems really obvious.
No, I think it could have been. Yeah, it didn't make any sense. People were angry in the comments. So I think we will cover that. Maybe next episode we'll have to put that video on for you guys. But anyways, yeah, this Green Day comedy movie. First off, the headlines on like the entertainment websites and stuff, it says Green Day comedy movie in works. That's just the headline, And so people, I was seeing people like being like, what, like a Green Day comedy movie? I like a Blink 182 comedy movie, but a Green Day comedy movie? What the fuck? What? They're not the funny punk bands. They can't do a comedy.
Yeah.
Who the fuck do they think they are?
Yeah. Because they're not even funny.
They're not even funny.
They're not the funny ones.
They're not the funny ones.
Blink 182.
Those are the funny guys.
They're kind of like the modern day Abbott and Costello.
They are actually, yeah.
Tom DeLonge and Mark Hoppus. That's
absolutely.
Kind of like the modern day Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, that's true. Which one is Abbott? Which one is Costello?
I think DeLonge is Abbott.
DeLonge is totally.
I think DeLonge definitely has some Abbott energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, Mark's Costello because it's just with the hair alone.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
Just the hair alone.
Elvis vibes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's
makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. It's an apt comparison.
Yeah.
But anyways, so what do you think about that? Because I've seen that in places on the internet. I'm not going to say where. I don't want to dox anyone, or give any. But what are your thoughts on that? Saying like, oh, nobody wants a Green Day comedy.
Yeah. I don't know. I think most people don't want a Green Day comedy. You know what I mean? Like or it's not even that they don't want it. It's that no one's asking for it.
Yeah, true.
It's one of those things like no Green Day fan or most Green Day fans, and certainly like the movie going public in general, no one's like waiting around like, where's the Green Day comedy movie? If there's a Green Day movie people are waiting for, it's the American Idiot movie, right?
Yeah,
True. Come on, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Get it together.
And Tom Hanks is MAGA now? You guys see this shit?
No.
You guys see this shit?
It's not true.
There's a picture circulating of Tom Hanks wearing a MAGA hat.
Yeah.
Which I was shocked. I showed Connor, and Connor said that must be AI.
I don't buy it.
That must be AI. Tom Hanks cannot be MAGA now. I don't know what the deal is, but Tom Hanks, buddy, you're on thin ice.
Yeah, you gotta set the record straight.
This is your warning.
Don't
live with that warning this time, Tom.
Oh,
don't live with that warning this time. You are on thin ice.
Yeah, buddy. Good one. I do think that this movie is going to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
And as Green Day fans, like we saw Geezer, and I think you said that Ordinary World.
We still call it the old name because we saw it when it was called Geezer.
We're the old fucking geezers. We're the old fucks.
We're the old geezers. Yeah.
We saw the premiere.
We did almost a decade. Was it 10 years ago?
Yeah,
it was 2015. I think it was 2015 because the year after Rev Ride came out, that was 2016.
Yep.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah,
that is nuts.
Connor, for as old as I am, you're even older.
Well, that's not actually.
And that's just how the math.
That's actually not true.
That's just how the math checks out.
You're 2 years older.
So you can make fun of me as much as you want, but you're kind of just making fun of yourself.
He is older than me. Just to be totally clear and like transparent, he is older.
Right.
He was born first,
and then
like quite a bit.
Also, to be totally clear and transparent, like I'm not 77.
Today I said 72.
Yeah.
I said 72.
Can't even remember your insults.
But no, actually though, so to be even more clear,
Yeah,
you know, Connor, he's born a day after Billy Joe Armstrong,
that's right.
and happens to be 20 years younger than him.
20 years in one
day.
In one day.
20 years in one day younger than Billy Joe Armstrong himself, which
So
is
do
pretty
the
cool.
math.
Do the math, and that's how old he is. We're not telling you. We're not doing math for you. We don't support thinking machines.
That's right.
We are
Or even thinking.
Any kind of machine, any kind of machine thinking or human thinking. We are absolutely against it. Leads. I mean, just look at where we are as a society. It's like it leads to bad things.
It's no one even knows if Tom Hanks is or isn't wearing a MAGA hat.
No one can tell. Thinking leads to dangerous things, and look where we have got ourselves. We all need to sit in a corner and stare at the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yes. So this movie, it's directed by the guy who directed Ordinary World. Lee Kirk is his name, and which is a good director name, I think.
Lee Kirk.
Yeah,
it's a good director.
It's pretty good. And so I'm assuming it'll be kind of like more of like a fun kind of quaint, like funny but like emotionally driven comedy movie, you know, where because the actual plot, I guess, is that it's a rock band that had the chance to open up for Green Day at a show. And it's like they're on a road trip to go open up for Green Day, and on the way there, they have like misadventures and stuff. And those misadventures and that story is based on Green Day's early days. So they're not actually Green Day. Green Day is actually in the movie, probably at the end. But the story of the fictional band is based on the real story of Green Day. So it's a little bit meta.
Yeah.
Not the tech company.
Right, not Meta AI.
Not Meta AI, not whatever, not Mark Zuckerberg. It's actually Meta. It's a word. You can look it up in a dictionary. Again, don't think about it, but you can look it up. So yeah, no, I think it'll be kind of like that. I imagine they'll cast that one kid from Stranger Things.
Yes.
You know?
The one who was in the music video
Meet Me on the Roof video, yeah. I just like whenever I think of the movie, I can picture him in the van, like on the road trip, you know?
Yeah.
Actually, what would be your dream cast for the up and coming actors playing Mike, Trey, and Billy?
Okay. Timothy Chalamet.
Yes.
As Billy Joe Armstrong.
Yes.
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet. Austin Butler as Mike Dirt.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's good.
And James Corbin as Trey Cool.
James Corbin?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Is that his name?
James Corbin?
Corbin?
You mean James Corden?
Corden?
The late night talk show?
Yeah, James Corden. Yeah, James Corden, yeah.
He's like in his 50s.
Yeah, but that's why it'd be so funny. It'd be so funny to have Timothy Chalamet, Austin Butler, and James Corden as Billy, Mike, and Trey.
He does give off Trey vibes.
A little bit. I think, a little bit.
Yeah, James Corbin. Okay. Like Jeremy Corbyn?
I don't know.
Well,
dude.
actually, no. The funny thing is though, and this is true. I just learned this actually. James Corden is actually Jeremy Corbyn's adopted nephew. I'm not sure if you knew that, but that is actually true.
Wow, yeah. Corbin and Corden.
Yeah, and the names were so similar they just didn't change his name.
Yeah, they were like,
we're gonna keep it because it's so similar. People, it doesn't even matter.
They were like, oh, dude, cut the umbilical Corbin.
That's
Corden.
That's what they said.
The umbilical Corden. There we go.
That's actually what Jeremy Corbyn was. He was at the birth, and he said that.
Yeah,
actually at the birth.
Yeah,
cut the Corbin, and then he was like, maybe that's a good idea for a name.
Right. I'm gonna adopt this baby because I already know the mom's not gonna keep it.
It's true. Yeah, and that was and then that's when he changed his name to Corbin because it used to be Corden.
Yeah,
but he didn't change the baby.
Yeah, no, yeah, and it's really funny because this is all on Wikipedia. Like you can just read
look it up. Anyone can edit Wikipedia, but they've got very good fact checkers, so it is legitimate. Anyways, the movie it's going to be fun. We're excited for it.
Another thing to cross off the bingo card.
Yes, another thing to cross off the bingo card. It's also starring some people from The Office.
Yes.
Do you know what's really funny though, Connor?
What?
So wasn't there a movie with the guy that played Dwight, and he was the drummer in a rock band, but he was like way older than the rest of the band?
I don't remember that.
I think there was. And
really? Because that's Rainn Wilson.
Rainn Wilson, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And he played like the old drummer uncle or something that was like living in the past. And
no, whatever movie you're talking about, I don't know what it is.
He was in the band with a bunch of young bucks.
You're not thinking of School of Rock, are you?
No, that's with Jack Black.
Yeah, no, I know it is. Is that what you're thinking of?
All right, it's called right here. It's called The Rocker.
2008.
2008 comedy movie. Rainn Wilson, The Rocker. Film stars Rainn Wilson as a failed musician who goes on tour with his nephew's band.
No, I've never
heard
it. I don't know what this is.
So they could be maybe riffing on that.
It seems like they were trying to do School of Rock, but with Rainn Wilson.
Yeah, they were. See, it's
yeah,
pretty...
yeah. No, I've never.
Yeah, I mean, guys, just look at this poster.
Who was that? Lee Kirk who directed that?
That was not Lee Kirk. That was Judd Apatow.
That's a Judd Apatow.
No, I'm just joking.
All right, you got me.
It's Peter Cattaneo. It's a nobody.
You got me.
It's a nobody. Yeah, it's a nobody. Yeah. So, anyways, that'll be good. It's got Pam from The Office, Angela from The Office, Kevin from The Office. No word on if Michael Scott is going to be returning or not.
Mm-hmm.
But fingers crossed. Anyways, Connor, what are we going to talk about today?
Coming clean.
Yeah. Yes. What are you coming clean about?
I really want to talk about this song.
Yes. What are you coming clean about?
What do you mean?
I know you said coming clean. What are you coming clean about?
Connor, that's what we're going to talk about today.
I know. Let's talk about what are you coming clean about?
I know, Connor. No. Now we're Abbott and Costello, right?
Yes, that's
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
we are talking about coming clean today. It is the 11th track off of Dookie.
Mm-hmm.
It is track number 11.
We really do our research around here.
No, it's track number 11. It's track number 11 on Dookie. Obviously a non-single. I was very excited to get to the song because simply I love it. I love this song. And yeah, I mean, we'll get into it. This is kind of maybe one of the songs that has the most meaning on Dookie, or has like the meaning has remained and kind of grown larger throughout the years since.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Connor, as we do traditionally, take me back to when you were a kid, probably before you even had an iPhone.
Yeah.
Before iPhones even existed.
Probably before I had an iPhone.
Probably before iPhones even existed.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yes.
What did you think about this song, Coming Clean? It was a deep cut to us.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I remember being younger and like looking at the song now, it feels so obvious like what it's about. But at the time, however old I would have been listening to Dookie for the first time, I think we kind of keep saying it was, maybe like a year after we were listening to American Idiot. So if that's 05, then I think that puts me at like 13, or so. I don't really think that was like really that like it just didn't register for me. It wasn't really on my radar. And so I think that I really kind of zeroed in on this whole, like, the song opens up very immediately. 17 and strung out on confusion. And I kind of took it to be just about like, kind of growing up and coming of age and feeling like very like.
That was in the future for us. But that was
right. We were
that felt
we
like the far
17.
future.
Yeah.
That felt like the far future. I was just a bit younger, but still, like, it felt like I couldn't even really imagine being 17 at 11.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, no. It feels completely alien.
Yes.
Because like you kind of, when you're a kid, like that jump of just 5 or 6 years or so even, you know, you kind of
Massive.
realize you're completely different. You know,
Yes.
like me
Yes.
now at whatever age I am.
Well, and that's for you to figure out.
Right. You do the math.
Yeah.
You figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, like 5 or 6 years from now, I don't really think I'm going to be that different.
I honestly feel like, I mean, 23 to 25 is like really when you're locked in a lot of ways.
Right.
And
You're
hard. Done. It's hard to escape from that person.
Yes.
So make sure make sure that you land somewhere nice.
Yes.
At that age.
I mean, yeah, and then you're just going to get worse. And
yes.
You're going to crumble and
yes.
degrade. And so it's.
Yep.
But anyways, no. To your point, it's like when we were listening to this, thinking about being 17. Yeah, it felt. It was almost on this weird pedestal. You know, and you kind of you fantasize and dread about it in like some odd ways. And so I liked this song because I guess it sort of represented growing up and also recognizing that like as you get older, things are still going to be confusing and weird, and you know that's all part of going through it and shit. Plus the music's really good. I mean, it's a song that just has like a really great like emotional force behind it, like you were saying, and you know, whether you're like keyed into what the song is about, like that reads loud and clear. Like the song feels important and it feels really big. So I always liked it for that.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It was definitely, you know, I mean, it felt like one of those things where I think we talked about this a lot on the first two records about how we were kind of with those early songs about girls and stuff, and then some about drugs on Kerplunk. It's like you're kind of imagining what your life is going to be and the kind of mishaps that you're going to walk into as a young adult. And so this really, this kind of has that same energy to me, or did back then. And it's a song that I kind of grew into. Like by the time I was 16, 17, I really felt a kinship to this song. Because, you know, we will definitely talk about this later on, but it's, you know, it's famously, you know, about Billy Joe discovering his sexuality, figuring that out, you know, realizing he may be bisexual. So to me, it was always, really about figuring yourself out in that journey. And I think it resonates with a lot of people for that reason. And even still today, I think it's you know, for me, it does feel that way. So Connor, you know, I'm curious to know how that journey was for you, where you've landed with it. Did you ever kind of, you know, was this ever a song that you could relate to, you know, as a journey of self-discovery for yourself, or you know, did you always kind of know who you were? Not just sexuality, but just, you know, in the general sense.
I definitely did not always know who I was, and I feel like a big thing I've struggled with is like not knowing like my identity, or like questioning or interrogating like my own identity. And like I really don't mean sexually. I mean like I don't know. I just sometimes I felt like I'm just like playing pretend, you know. It's like who am I kind of deal.
Yeah.
And like those are all normal things to grapple with and figure out, especially as you're aging and getting older. But I do think it's something that I like was you know, at times too preoccupied on, like where like my personality would be like picking apart my personality, or like sometimes, you know, and like that's I don't think that's healthy, you know, and I don't think it really leads to anything. Like it's kind of funny because like I don't know, like eventually I think there's kind of this realization. I guess I'm speaking for myself, but I'm gonna present it as something that I feel is like a truth or a truism or something. But it's like you know, I'd be like, oh, you know, man, like, what's, I don't know how to even word it now, but it's like, you know, sometimes there's this idea that like the way that we present ourselves can be at odds with who we are. Like
Uh,
there's this idea of like who you are deep down or on the
yeah.
inside or whatever. And I kind of got to a point where it's like, well, I don't think those things are separate. And it's like, you know, if the way that you present yourself is different from how you feel, then like the truth of yourself is you're the kind of person who's like, you know, uh leading with something that is inauthentic, or you're trying
Uh,
to like, you know, push some kind of like image. I don't know. I
yeah.
don't want to get caught up in the weeds about it, but just talking about like this song here and how that relates to like a journey of self-discovery and figuring things out and shit. Um I have figured a lot out about myself, especially at my ripe old age of whatever. But I think by the time that that happens, I didn't really return to this song. So I didn't really feel like this song was part of my figuring things out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to listen to it now, like in retrospect, I do think there's a lot of like truth in this song and a lot that I feel like I can relate to after the fact.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was kind of like a big rambly thing, but it's like it's a big topic to
It is.
discuss
No,
of like
it's huge.
figuring yourself
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And it's always like an ongoing kind of process.
Yeah, well, I mean, these are conversations that you and I have had for years, you know.
Yeah.
And we will continue to have long into even as we grow. Even you may not believe it, but folks, we are going to get older.
Mm.
Guess what? We're still going to be talking about the same old shit.
That's right.
So this is an ongoing conversation. Obviously, we've been having for a long time. We'll continue to have. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's a tricky thing. It's different for everybody, but it's also the same for everybody. And you know, one of the things that I learned growing up that really struck me was like, yeah, that kind of analysis is good to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there is a certain thing called analysis paralysis.
Yes.
Which is a rabbit hole you don't want to fall into. One I've definitely gone down before. And at the end, there's nothing down there. Spoiler alert. So I think it's like a good takeaway that even I think probably Billy Joe would even agree with, if I may be so bold to state. You know, is it's okay to not know. It's okay to be always figuring yourself out. You know. Like I do feel like I've got a strong sense of self, and I feel like I always have. But yeah, there's always new things you learn about yourself as you age and progress and uncover things and add things to the pile. You know, that's all okay. You're a human being, and you're not stuck in one mode of who you are. So, but yeah, like looking through the comments today, we'll get to them, of course, at the end. But
What we're talking about in the end today?
Not yet, not quite, Costello.
Okay,
good one, Costello.
okay.
Good one, Costello.
Yep.
That was classic Costello.
Yeah,
right
I
there.
know. Look at that happen over
Look
here.
at classic Costello. Anyways, the comments, because I do look through the comments to find really funny ones to respond to you know, to get this chucklehead to laugh, to break character, which is hard. He's a hard nut to crack, that's for sure. Yeah, Stoneface. And this one, there really weren't a lot of funny comments. They were really people pouring their hearts out, and some of those, like, I could have, if I like wanted to be mean spirited,
Mm-hmm.
I could screenshot and be like, oh, look at this person, look how dumb they are, saying they figured themselves out for this song. But like, that's not, I mean, it's just, I think it's a really beautiful thing that this song can have that much power and that much meaning to people.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, a lot of it is, you know, figuring out your own sexuality, and that's awesome. But just yeah, figuring out who you are in a general sense. And yeah, I mean, for that reason, like, I feel like it's related. It feels related a little bit to who wrote Holden Caulfield.
Yeah.
You know, in a way where it's like the 17-year-old-ish character that is, you know, maybe a progression of the lazy, crazy kid who's finally maybe coming to learn about himself, figure things out a little bit. Yeah, so I mean, I think that's a great thing too. Like retroactively, you know, you said it has meaning. Like that's why like even seeing this song live this past summer was just incredible. It was just a very like emotional song. You know, it's self actualization, like Connor said earlier. That is like one of the big tenets of Green Day's message and an ongoing theme in their music, and I think it's this is a really big one.
Yes.
In that regard. I just wanted to point out or bring up, and I don't know if you will remember this, but one of the first memories of Coming Clean that I have, and I think we have heard we had heard the Dookie version already, but it's a really grainy or really low quality video of the band playing at CBGB's. This is the one time they played at CBGB's. I think was in the very early 2000s, maybe 2001. And they're like really, or at least Billy Joe is like just really drunk.
Yeah,
really drunk. And at that time, I think like CBGB's live streamed their sets or something. So video exists of them playing, and so like they just went up and played, and like they don't have it's not their instruments, like they're other people's instruments and stuff. And Billy's like really drunk, so he's like guitar's out of tune and stuff, and he's out of key or whatever. But Coming Clean was like a known rarity, and so that was like one of the videos of Coming Clean being played live that I remember watching back in the day. Do you have any memory of that video or that performance?
No, I don't. But that's I don't know. It's cool that that's something that you remember. I guess about it. I do not recall. Maybe if I watched it.
I think you'd recognize it because they played a bunch of stuff. It was like one of those fast and dirty punk rock shows. They played like covers and stuff. It looked pretty cool. Even though, you know, like Billy Joe was just like he was gone.
Yeah.
He was gone. So which sometimes even makes it better. But yeah, so let's get into the song as a whole, I guess, here. As a whole, but individually.
Yes, a whole individual.
An individual whole.
Yep.
As they say. We can start off with the guitar here. I mean, like you said, it starts with a bang, kind of. You get right into it. It's just a drum fill, guitar, bass, drums, they all come in together, and then the vocals come in. How do you feel about the guitar on this song?
Love the guitar. Yeah. I love that it has this kind of like it's not right to call it like stuttery, because the song has a great flow to it, but it has like this really so I really like I like that main riff. I do think that it's like this really good I don't know. It's so stupid because I could just say, oh, it's like pop and punk. It sounds like pop punk,
Yeah.
But I think that the main riff for this song, like because it has sort of like this stuttery kind of feel to it, like to me, it almost feels like kind of dancey in a way.
Yeah.
But there is like this really strong force to it. To be kind of like I don't know, like to be like really reductive about it. Like when I think about like the punk, like the sound, I feel like Coming Clean is one of the like punkier kind of songs on Dookie.
Yeah.
And barring the solo, which is great, by the way. So I don't know. I in short, I really like the riff, and I just think it's really catchy. It's catchy as hell.
It's super catchy, and I mean the guitar is by itself is very catchy. Like you said, that kind of like rhythmic strumming pattern is really great. And it kind of like thinking about it now, it kind of feels like 50s dance hall.
Yes,
but turned up obviously and faster.
Yes,
yep. So that's kind of the vibe, and yeah, that's and I mean, like Green Day have since done songs with that same kind of feeling. I'm just trying to think, is this the first time they've kind of used that rhythmic kind of guitar pattern?
I think it is.
Yeah,
I think it is, and we're going to talk about this, but that whole like 50s kind of rock thing that you're identifying.
Yeah,
that was something that I was thinking about even more, like with the bass. Like I think
totally.
But yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. For the guitar, I do think that's there, and it's interesting because it's not like derivative, it's not like you don't listen to Coming Clean and you're like, oh yeah, they're doing a 50s kind of thing.
No,
like,
it's not.
But I do think that it is like connected to that kind of era of rock.
I think it's like an evolution of that kind of style, which I think I do think like the Ramones too are they kind of play around with the same thing sometimes. So it's very much in the lineage. Yeah, and that guitar solo, which is we always say like, oh, this is the one solo on Dookie, and then it turns out there's like 5 solos.
Yeah.
But this song it's like a masterclass in Billy Joe's like 90s soloing.
Yeah.
Like it's very subtle and just like really melodically, it just feels like really of a piece. It doesn't. It's like. It's so organic. It's so organically a solo that it's not like, oh, here comes the big solo. I'm gonna shred for 25 seconds.
Yeah.
No, this is part of the song. This is like the instrumental section of the song, which is why we forget that it's a solo.
Yeah.
It's like why I don't even realize that this is a solo. But it is.
Yeah.
It's just kind of Billy realizing he doesn't have to be showy about it, and he doesn't have to take his big bag of tricks out, and it's all the better for that. It's really good. Yeah. So I think this is like another kind of underrated guitar song. It's the guitar sounds fucking great. It's got really cool parts. It's it's not too much. It enhances the song. Let's go into the bass next.
Yeah, after I talk about the solo just a little bit more.
Yeah, okay. Right after you talk about the solo.
That's like such a great point though, because like this solo, you would not find this solo anywhere on 39 Smooth. Like he doesn't know how to show that kind of restraint and sensibility yet. Absolutely. So like I wasn't thinking about that either, but I think that's a really good point. And I like that I just love it's like the solo's kind of split into these 2 parts, like you get the however it starts, right? And then like it goes in that second part, it's like I don't know. But like really just what I wanted to like add, like I love that like he shifts into the second part for the solo because I feel like it is what like it perfectly glides into that last part of the song. Obviously we're gonna be discussing the lyrics and Billy's singing and stuff. And I think that's really like the crescendo of the song, but the way that the solo is like that focal point into the ending of the song. I don't know. It's just so good. Like, I don't know. I guess here I am. I stopped you talking about the bass, and then I said I want to talk about the solo, and but I just had to gush about it a little bit more.
Yeah,
because I think it's fantastic. Definitely the best solo on Dookie.
I think you're right. I think you're right on that point. I mean, and it does. I think it does crescendo. It does lead into the end really, really well. It just kind of build. There's a bit of a build there that you're peaking, and it's satisfying coming into the closing chorus.
There you go.
And so you kind of brought up the bass a little bit earlier. Obviously, we say this is one of the Green Day songs where everyone comes in at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's all together now.
Yes.
And yeah, here the bass does cool things. We listened to it a little bit on Connor's Bluetooth speaker here, and Connor's concern was that we can't hear the bass on this. We got to listen to it in our headphones. That was a great call. Because imagine not talking about the bass.
I know.
That would be criminal. Connor, what do you think about Mike's performance here?
I do like it. This is definitely one of those songs where like Billy and Trey are front and center, and I don't want to sound like a broken record when we talk about Mike's bass, but there just are songs where it's like, he kind of gets he's kind of overtaken a little bit, and that's just part of the role of being the bass player oftentimes.
Yeah.
So I do like Mike's playing. I guess the thing that I had noticed, and going back to what you're saying about the guitar riff, Mike's pretty much following along with like that kind of start and stop playing.
Yeah.
And so, it really kind of sounded like it. I feel like it sounds like something that is akin to Dose,
Okay.
And
yeah.
I kind of feel like the bass line he's playing on Coming Clean is kind of like a faster, more aggressive version of something like Straight Heart. Like that's what I think about, like bum 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 bum.
Yeah,
bum,
actually,
you know what I mean?
Actually, you're right. And Straight Heart is an example of a song that is like a 50s pastiche.
Yes, no, completely right.
Yeah.
Where they just like, okay, like we're gonna do like the 50s fucking rock song.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Right. And so it does like share that kind of that rhythm to it.
Yeah, you're right. It does.
Because it's following the guitar a lot. So
I had never thought of that, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, obviously Mother Mary too. That's not a Green Day song, but anyways, yeah.
But you're right though. Yeah. It's like that. And so that's what's like funny about this, about Coming Clean, because Coming Clean doesn't sound like that, because it feels like they took that playing and then just like, cranked it.
Yes,
and
exactly.
completely, they were like, let's just do it punk, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like they smuggled it completely. Like it just doesn't feel like that's what it is. But I think that intentionally or not, that's what it feels like it's drawing from. Yeah.
No, absolutely. I think that sells it for me, really, because you're absolutely right. It's and I mean, some people would say like, oh, that's what they should always be doing. They should always be taking their inspirations and filtering them through a punk lens. And there's plenty of comments on YouTube that are like, what Green Day should make an album like Dookie again. Just do this. Like, so I don't agree with that. That is boring. But I will say here, it's like very, very effective. And I mean, that's like, I think that's like really part of it's a big part of the Green Day sound.
Yeah.
Is taking their inspirations and then filtering them through Green Day. And I mean, what Green Day has changed through the years. So it's a hard thing to pinpoint, but right here it's done, exceptionally.
Yes.
Yeah. So you want to talk about the drums?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, the drums on this are pretty damn good.
Yeah, they're killer.
They're really good. That was actually another thing. That's another good thing about the headphone listen. We cranked it up, and the drums are just really powerful.
Yeah, they are.
They sound so fucking good.
Yes,
just incredibly, just so good. What are your thoughts on Mr. Cool's turn in this song?
Yeah, I love the way it starts. You get those really, really big hits at the beginning.
Yeah.
So that's really sick. Trey has great transitions every time. As I was like taking notes, I was like, oh, going into this chorus, and then eventually I was like, I'm just taking a note every time there's a transition.
Yeah.
Like literally every time something changes in the song, Trey's just going for it.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. It's very expressive. And I guess the other part that I wanted to mention is kind of going hand in hand on the whole solo thing. But at the end of that solo there, Trey, I don't know. I just always like pick up on and like love hearing just I don't know, I can't even think about it now if he's hitting his hi-hat or a cymbal or but like, you know, he has like these two little hits as it leaves the solo and goes into like the pre-chorus or the last chorus, like the ending of that song there. Trey just like, I don't know, it feels like he ties a little bow on it. And it's like and then the rest of the song just kind of unfolds in this really like powerful way. And I love the way that, like, you know, like Trey can put so much you know, like, I don't know, energy and power behind things, like talking about those transitions. Like it sounds great. Like, you know, Trey's playing makes the song feel in a lot of ways as punk as it does, I think. But then, like, you know, he just has like little, it's not even like a softer moment, but it's more of like an understated way of like tying things together that I'm like listening to, and I'm just like, man, like everything Trey does is just like so clear and crisp, and it feels like it's exactly where it should be, even though, like, you know, he knows how to do it because like he has that innate talent. You know what I mean? Like it.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It's one of the, like it feels obvious because he's done it. But then, like, if you were gonna sit there and be the drummer, it's like would you know, any other drummer play it quite the same way?
Not everyone would come up with would have that same intuition.
Yeah. So that's all I mean.
Yeah, no, in fact, most drummers wouldn't actually. Yeah, no, I think his fills are amazing. It's a very powerful performance. Like I said, that that snare fill, the like that's that's just a classic. That's like the Trey special.
Yeah,
that is just so good. It's I mean, it's always satisfying, but in this song, it hits so hard, and it kind of like works off. You know, I know you said stuttery kind of as a way to describe the guitars and the bass a little bit, but that kind of is like a stuttery drum snare fill. And, and it like really kind of creates a nice, I'm going to use the word juxtaposition against the guitar and the bass drum patterns that it just like really hits me in the right place. It feels really good.
Equal and opposite stuttering.
Yes. It's
like somehow the differences in the stuttering are like complementing each other. I think that's exactly right? Like it works together that way.
Exactly it. And like, you know, we talk about 50s inspiration for Green Day, but some of Trey's fills and stuff, it feels like kind of old school rock and roll a little bit, like not rockabilly, but like bop bop blue bop, like just like some of the fills like kind of feel like that like
this is like a hardcore Beach Boys or something.
It's like really, it's really interesting. So I don't know, it's like those instincts are just there. We've said that a million times at this point, but goddamn, is it good?
No, I mean, it's one of those. It's like we could sit here and talk about like those little moments, and obviously that's part of what we do. It's a podcast. We're going to break things down, but like at the end of the day, it's like if I'm just having a conversation and it's like, man, what do you think about the drums on Coming Clean? I'd be like, fucking sick as hell.
Yeah,
just absolutely. Fucking sick. You know, it's like at a certain point, it's like you can't split the atom anymore. You know, it's like I think ultimately it just comes down to the playing just being so good. I don't know, man.
It's a fucking nuke. It's a fucking nuke. You know, it's all that's what it is. You know, it's like Trey's bombing the shit out of us. Fucking killer. So yeah, the band, they turn in grade A performances on their instruments.
I think this is a really high point on Dookie, really.
I think it is too. It definitely is. This really might be, you know, I sometimes look at albums as like a, you know, as in like story beats, you know, like this being maybe the climax and the rest is like falling action, you know, like that. That's kind of how I feel. This really is a peak. So now, let's move on to Mr. Billy Joe and his singing. You know, we'll get into the lyrics in a moment, but this is like I mean, I do think that the songs on Dookie are personal, you know, but this really is one of the most personal.
Yes.
For Billy Joe, especially. You know, this really is a subject or a part of him he has not really bared lyrically before. So this is a moment to take note. This is the flags to plant. This is obviously he has a million songs pining for girls already. And this is like, well, what if there's something more to that?
Yeah.
What if there's something more to me than that? And then that kind of opened the gates, and the band has never really shied away from being proud, at the very least a proud ally of the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
So definitely notable for that. But I think in Billy's vocal delivery here, sometimes I wonder like how he pulled it off, because he mentions how nervous he was recording the vocals. I think part of it is just like he didn't have time to think and overanalyze things.
Yeah.
It is all just kind of like it comes out how it how it is. There's no time to like to refine things. And how it came out is like it's like a very tight but vulnerable performance, I think.
Yeah. And we were kind of sharing our own little anecdotes from before, and there's a danger to getting caught up in the over analysis.
Yes.
It kind of feels like it's one of those blessings in disguise that it worked out the way it did, because it's like, can you imagine editing Dookie being like, oh yeah, I think actually if we could just change this line here, if we could just tweak this delivery a little bit. It's like, I mean, I know you, after a certain point of listening to any kind of music over and over, eventually you kind of just internalize it. Like Dookie couldn't sound any different. But like, even separate from that,
people on YouTube would disagree though. Some people are, what if Dookie produced in the American Idiot style?
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, go ahead.
Well, I don't know. It's like as a thought experiment, I guess it's fun. If they were like really saying like, "Oh, this is better," then
no, I know, it's true.
But yeah, I guess going off of what you were saying, just about like I think the vulnerability definitely comes through in this song here. Like Billy's performance, it's truly, truly excellent. And you were talking about how like, if we were thinking of Dookie as a story, as the like having story beats.
Yeah.
17 or sorry. I really do that. I was making a joke about this at the end of the last episode where I was like 17 because I don't know, when I think of this song in my head, I think of it as
17. It's called
part of like the number verse.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not.
Actually, it should be. That would be kind of cool. Sequel 16.
I know the song is coming clean, but I don't know. I'm just in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, it's called 17, right? It's not.
Welcome to the number verse coming clean.
Yeah, right. What the fuck was I saying? Coming clean, vulnerability, story beats. Yes, I agree that coming clean kind of is like the emotional high point, maybe like the climax of the album. And I think even within coming clean itself, that line of 17 and coming clean for the first time, I finally figured, like that, that line, that delivery, it doesn't matter how much time, like I was listening to it before I was 17 and how many times I've listened to it since turning 17, like that line always feels like a gut punch. And I just feel like it's the way that Billy sings it. It's a great line. It's simple. It's raw. But I think like Billy sings it with such conviction that I'm kind of floored by it every time. Like it and the thing is like I can recall like feeling jealous in a way, like a weird envy listening to the song, because I feel like I figured myself out way late. If this is like the, if I was going to compare myself to Billy, which probably isn't fair, even though our birthdays are pretty close.
It's true. One day apart.
1 day in 20 years.
Yep. 1 day in 20 years apart. I forgot that other.
That's
other
right.
part.
Yeah, I know. But I really felt like I kind of like put off a lot of like soul searching for a long time. And I kind of just like sleptwalk through a lot of shit. And I would like look back at like my time, at different points of my life and being like, what the fuck was I thinking? Or who the fuck was I hanging out with? It's another song we're going to be talking about.
Actually, yes.
Who the fuck was I friends with and why?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like,
point.
why did I waste so much time being like a stupid fucking asshole?
Yeah.
All I mean is like, I don't know. Like when I hear Billy sing that line, I have this weird combination of like, man, you know, I wish I felt like I figured myself out when I was 17. And also like, it feels like there's such a triumph of like taking hold of who you are and just being like, and I don't know. And like, and just feeling like, you know, like just the power of being yourself, which I guess sounds really corny when you lay it out there, but I'm gonna hop off. I want to hear what you have to say, but man, I think that line is like the high point of Dookie, the album. I think it is like the one, like the most singular, like indomitable moment on an album as big as Dookie. I think it's right here. I think it's that line.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't argue with that. It feels like it feels triumphant and like, I mean, self-actualizing is the word. It feels like that's the moment. That is you're crossing the threshold, you know, a little bit. And, you know, talking about like the progression of the album too, like from Burnout, from track 1 being Burnout, you know, I'm a lazy stoner with my life kind of in shambles. I'm a little bit nihilistic or apathetic, whatever. Getting to Coming Clean, you know, it's kind of this character like taking control of their life a little bit more, figuring themselves out a little bit more, you know. This is like fan fiction shit here, but like I feel like it's like, you know, the song She maybe is a turning point where it's like I'm a little bit inspired by this person who has their life figured out, or they're in control of their life. We get to Coming Clean, you're figuring yourself out, and then getting to a song like Emanating Sleepless there, Connor, where you're like cutting out the people in your life who are not serving, you know, your growth anymore. And
couple that with how the album, I mean, FOD.
Yeah. No, I mean, so
I've never thought about that, but you're right. It feels, because I have always kind of thought about this album being like the slacker, fucking apathy has rained on me. You know, complete wasteoid, fucking literal burnout, stoner loser.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of feels like that's centered at the beginning of the album to kind of like show that change by the end.
Yeah.
And I never thought about that. I think that's pretty good, dude.
I hadn't thought of that either until just now, but you know, again, it is like, what if Dookie was a rock opera? But but there is a progression there. It does feel like it is telling the story of a character or personal journey. And then, like you said, ending with FOD. Obviously, I'm excited to talk about that in full, but it's kind of like, well, you made a lot of progress here, but maybe you're a little bit too spiteful still.
Yeah.
And that leads into Insomniac.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Like, I don't know. For as much as Insomniac is a reaction to Dookie, it does actually kind of feel like it's a
progression,
organic progression. Yeah. But anyways, Billy Joe's vocals here are very vulnerable, and they feel pitched correctly. That I did want to point out the way he says confusion.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like for a second there, it's the person Billy Joe, not the man on the stage Billy Joe.
Yeah.
That's like just I've always felt that it feels like for just a split second it's like not singing.
Yeah.
For just a second, and then we get into the song proper. But I love his performance.
Yeah.
You want to jump into the lyrics and start a segment here?
Yes, I do. I do.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna do a live rendition of our famous song. You want to start us off, Connor?
Yeah. It goes a little something like this.
Here we go.
This is just
Here
this
we
is
are.
not a senior moment.
Here we are.
You know,
This is just a bit.
This is
He's
just
playing.
a bit.
He's
You
playing.
know, old
This is-
Abbott having a bit of
this is-
fun over here. You know,
Classic
it
Abbott.
goes a little something like this. Just tell me the words I might have known. The words I might have known. The words I might have known.
All right,
How do
here
you
we
do-
go.
How do you do
You
that?
do- we'll-
how do you do that?
We'll add the sound. In
I wanted
post.
to do like a, you know, like
I know.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to do? Like, all right.
We'll do it like they did. We'll add it in post.
I just thought you could just do that, but
you gotta have strong fingers.
yeah, my fingers are very weak.
They're decrepit.
yeah, very frail, frail fucking
Nosferatu
fingers.
fingers.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know what that even means. But yeah. So Connor, on this track, are there any lyrics that you were unfamiliar with, or you had other ideas about?
Yes. And as usual, like I kind of knew the places where I was like, so on the first verse here, Billy. So what I kind of thought it was, I wasn't really sure. I would always go back and forth between singing "Trapped Inside the Hold" and then I didn't know if it was this illusion or disillusion.
Oh, okay.
And I would just kind of like 50-50, like depending on what I thought that day. I would sing both, but I never got trapped inside a role. I thought it was trapped inside the hold of disillusion. It's a small one, but
it is a small one, and also something that I don't know if I've ever really taken the time to look at these lyrics. Just kind of taken for granted and knowing them so well. I mean, I still to this day I always sing "Trapped Inside a World of Disillusion." Actually,
wow.
So,
and you usually don't have a lyric correction. Or
no,
so.
it is a rarity.
Yeah, I mean, assuming Genius is
well,
correct.
that's the other thing is we would have to consult the Dookie booklet to actually figure out the correct lyrics.
Actually, I as I was going through, I was going through, I had someone posted a picture of the lyrics from the CD booklet.
Sure enough, it is roll.
Yes,
it is roll of disillusion.
Trapped inside a roll of disillusion.
All right, Genius 1, Green Dudes 0.
And then the other one was the first line of verse 2, "Secrets collecting dust." That one I didn't have what I thought it was.
Yeah.
It was always very like garbled to me. So I would pretty much come on where he says, "But never forget skeletons," because I got all that, but I didn't know what the fuck he was saying. Secrets collecting dust.
Yeah.
I could not hear that for the life.
No, that delivery is very garbled and hard to parse, I think. So yeah, I think I probably was in the same boat for a little bit too on that one.
Yeah, but otherwise, I mean, there's really not even that many lyrics. It's a pretty.
No,
a lot of it is like repeated. So that's
yeah,
all
I
it
mean,
is.
I think the enunciation is pretty clear by Billy's standards, except for a couple of parts.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into the lyrics as a whole here, quick.
Let's do it.
I think Billy's been on a good run here since. I mean, the whole album is great, but since She especially, I think there's some great lyrics. 17 and Strung Out in Confusion is an awesome opening line.
It is.
Just the idea of being strung out on confusion is super relatable, and I don't know, just makes you think. Being strung out, usually it's like you're strung out on drugs or whatever. The character from Burnout probably would be, I'm strung out on drugs.
Yep.
I'm drugged up, baby. Burnt out.
That's what they would say.
Spoken too much of that Mary Jane.
Probably.
So yeah, I like that kind of turn. And then I found out what it takes to be a man in the chorus. That's a big line.
Yeah.
It's a very important one, and I think people growing up, I mean, especially young boys, young men, that's a loaded question. That's a loaded idea, what it means to be a man, what it takes to be a man in this case. I think the moral of the story here is that it's different for everyone, and I mean there is like a traditional idea of masculinity, right? That is toxic, patriarchal kind of ideas and ways to live your life and operate and to treat people around you. And this is like a rejection of that.
Yes.
Finding out what it really means to be a man to Billy. And obviously that journey is different for everybody. So yeah, I think that's a really powerful line.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I was going to shout that one out too, because I love that it's in relation to like Billy's vulnerability and like, because, I think when it comes to talking about like expressing your vulnerability and how you feel and questioning your sexuality, like those are not traditionally masculine traits or behaviors. And so for Billy to put those two things in conversation with one another, like Billy saying like, hey, effectively like I'm bisexual, I'm part of the queer community, and recognizing that about myself and expressing that is actually like just as much of an expression of like my masculinity or my manhood as well.
Yeah.
I do think is a very progressive idea that being a man can mean so many things, and that it's limiting and regressive and harmful to consider like manhood and masculinity as just this very small box of like traditional behaviors or like and obviously there's a million discussions that could be had from that point where it's like, oh, boys don't cry, boys don't it's like a lot of times it has to do with like ignoring your emotions. And like here Billy is flipping it on its head completely, and he's like, hey, part of what makes me a man is that I'm actually going to express these things.
Yes.
I'm gonna accept this about myself.
Absolutely. I mean, because a big part of traditional masculinity is like that repression, that repressing who you really are to present a traditionally masculine figure. So yeah, I think that rejection is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I don't know. I'm grateful for it.
Yes.
I'm grateful for having somebody just live that truth in front of me to witness as a young boy. I think that helped tons of people probably.
And we'll see as we go through the comments.
As we go through the comments, we'll see. Yes.
That's pretty clear.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. It is.
That resonates with a lot of people.
Any other lyrics you want to point out?
Yeah, the other line that I always love is "Skeletons come to life in my closet."
Yes.
Whoa!
Oh my God!
Your shirt was you really freaked me out, dude. You really freaked me out just now with that fucking coming to life in my closet right now.
Watch me dance around on Mr. Skeleton.
It's like a classic Costello over here.
I know. That's why I wore this shirt.
I know. No, it was like this is all very, very deliberate. We think things through all the time.
You don't even know how long we spent writing the show before we actually record.
Right. Imagine how long it takes to remember each and every line that we deliver on this podcast.
We take a couple of days. We write it. We do a week of rehearsals, and then we finally press record. And so by the time you see it, we are a well-oiled machine.
That's right. Yep. That's right. It's a whole process.
Yes. Including this right now.
Yes, that's right. No, exactly. Nope. Exactly. It's the veneer of authenticity, and you have been fooled.
Fool you once, shame on you.
Yeah. Yep. Fool me twice. You ain't gonna get fooled again.
Good old W.
That's right.
We missed that.
That's right.
Guy.
And they
fucking missed that.
I know. As a lifelong American Idiot listener, I can say I miss that guy. I miss that fucking guy.
Let's rehabilitate.
Yeah, we got some shit to talk about. Yeah. I can't wait to get to American Idiot.
Let's get W on the podcast.
Yes,
it would be fun.
Yes, yeah. No, that As the kids say, that'd be a W.
That would be a W,
That'd be a W.
in more ways than one.
I don't think the kids say that anymore, actually.
Yeah,
I don't know if kids say that. I don't think they do.
No.
Haven't heard a kid say that.
Well, maybe you should just throw it in there and see what they respond to it.
Right. It's some 10-year-old's going to be like, you talking about Bush? George W. Bush?
Oh, the painter?
Yeah.
Oh, Michelle Obama's friend? Oh.
Wow. So this line here, skeletons come to life in my closet. I don't know. It's a great line. There's great imagery. And it's one of those lines that feels very clever, and it's not like pretentious about being clever. Yeah. Like, I just think it's really fucking clever. Because obviously you get the whole skeletons, like the secrets that you bear when people say you have skeletons in your closet, right? And then also, you know, the closet as the imagery of like hiding your sexuality and like how that has been such a big thing in the gay community where like everyone knows what coming out means and how that connects to the closet idea and why that had to be a thing. And so this line that Billy has here, I just feel like there's these really, really sharp, biting kind of like layers and commentary to it, and it just feels so effortless because like you sing it and it's just a great fucking line, but there's just a lot to it, you know. It's just a really, really good fucking line.
Yeah, so there's some layers there. Absolutely, it's a great line. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's funny because like, you know, you said it's repetitive, and then the bridge is just, oh no.
Yeah.
It is repetitive, but it's like still lyrically a great song. This is like a great example of repetition that just really works.
Yeah.
It's repeated the right amount of times, and there's a lot of substance there.
Mm-hmm.
God, what a fucking song.
Yeah.
What a fucking song.
Yes. Yeah. No, the more we've talked about it, because you'll always be like, oh, what do you think about this song now that you're older? And literally, even now that I'm older, just like an hour of talking about this, I feel like I like it more now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this really is a truly excellent song. It just feels like it's the perfect combo of you know, like the meaning of the song paired with just how on point the playing is, how all their performances are, everything that we've discussed. It's just a song where it feels like everything clicks.
Everything does.
I feel like this emotional undercurrent just gives it like this extra layer of electricity that, I don't know, even something like I can't say that Basket Case doesn't have it. Like, it's such a humongous song, but I do feel like there's something in Coming Clean that is not in any other song on Dookie.
No, I think you're right. I think it all gels or coalesces in a way that, I mean, it feels so, I don't know. It feels effortless, but also like monumental a little bit. It's hard to get there with words, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah, just that, I don't know. It's like 17 and Coming Clean for the first time. I finally figured out.
Yeah.
That last part, I already talked about it, so I'll shut up. But I'm telling you, it's the best moment on Dookie, for my money.
I can't argue with you. I can't argue with that. I can't. Can you? I can't.
Let's hear it.
I can't. Shout out in the comments.
Yeah.
You want to hear what you say? Yeah, absolutely. Connie, ready to head to more segments?
Yeah.
All right. After a quick word from our sponsors. All right, and we are back. Welcome back to Green Dudes. Just in time for a brand new segment. Well, no, it's not. I don't know why I said brand new segment. It's actually an old segment that we do every episode.
Yeah. You can just cut this out if you want.
Yeah, I could.
You want to just start over right now?
Yeah, okay. All right.
And okay.
All right. Welcome back to Green Dudes. I just took a piss. Connor just took a piss. He's heating up the oven because we're going to be eating some mozzarella sticks after.
That's right. That way we won't feel washed up like piss gone down the drain after this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
we're in danger of that right now.
Yes.
We're in danger of that. For the next segment, Connor, I think I will start it, but I will need some accompaniment.
I'm ready to accompany you.
Okay. All right. Goes something like this. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. Warning, live without warning.
Have we heard this song? Have we heard this song?
Okay. Oh, there we go. You did hear the sound? It worked this time. It worked this time. That's what, that was good. There we go. That worked. That
Yep.
little bit worked. That was classic.
I need like a little bow tie that
Yeah.
like I can like pull a string and it'll like
Oh, that would be awesome.
like go
That
around.
would be awesome. Yeah.
I think
Do they sell that
honestly
song?
I think I finally figured out myself for the first time.
Yes, you are like a classic comedy bits guy.
Yes.
You just go around.
That's like my thing. I should have been like a character actor. You know?
Yes,
Like
yeah,
that could have been.
Well, but a character actor does mean something different.
It's-
Um,
well, you know, but like that. Like that would be the
you-
character.
You've got
that I
one
would-
specific character.
Yeah, right.
that-
Right. You're a character actor?
Like-
Well, I can do one character
And-
really well.
and I don't. It's not like it's my job. That's just what I do with my life. Like
Yes.
that's just who I am as
Yeah,
a person.
right.
I just am a character. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, have we heard this song live? That's a tricky question because for all Dookie, Connor and I we heard the entirety of Dookie twice this past summer, which is monumental. I know thousands upon thousands of other people are in the same boat, but it's monumental for all of us. What a great thing to have happened. It was
True.
incredible. Now, before then, Connor, before this summer, at any of the 22 and 12 Green Day shows, respectively, that we've both seen, have we heard, or you heard, or I heard, Coming Clean before the Saviors Tour?
I do not think I had heard Coming Clean before the Saviors Tour. And this is one of those things where I kind of always have to go back to that Rough Trade show that you saw in 2016 before the concert, that like the day before the concert
That we saw.
that we went to together in New York City. Because you heard some crazy rarities that day. And it's like, was Coming Clean one of them? I think that I had not heard Coming Clean prior to the Saviors Tour. I think you had heard Coming Clean prior to the Saviors Tour, probably at the Rough Trade show.
So I'm double checking here because I want to make sure.
Because you're having a senior moment, because you're getting old, just like me.
All right, easy now.
Okay.
Easy boy. All right, so the first, I'm making sure that you haven't seen it before before this year.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, you were close, but not the close call you thought. So the first time, let me just double triple check here.
Yeah. Double, triple, quadruple even.
Quadruple
if you need
even.
to.
Yeah. Okay, so the first time I saw Coming Clean live, this was one of the best moments of my life, was at the Irving Plaza concert in 2012. They played Coming Clean along with a slew of other incredible songs. That was a night I will never, ever forget. It was beautiful. They also played Coming Clean in 2013 at Mohegan Sun, which is a show that I went to, but you did not go to that show.
Yeah.
But you just went to I think you went to the Rochester show like the day before or a couple of days before. That was the Trilogy tour.
Yeah.
So you just missed it.
Yes.
Which was a bummer. And at the Rough Trade show, they did not play Clement Clean.
They did not. Okay.
That was one of the rarities they did not play. So yeah, the next time I saw that after 2013 was 2024. This very year. So been over a decade for me.
Yeah. But I was right too. That
you were
I had
right.
not
You had not
heard it because I was not at that Irving Plaza.
No,
show
you
in
weren't.
2012.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah. So
sounds like a good show.
Connor, it was fucking incredible. Connor, the things I had to do to get those tickets to.
Yeah.
And I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
I did unsavory things, but it paid off in the end.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. Yeah, what a great song to pull out and play. Happy that so many people have gotten to hear it live now. It's a great live track. Now we go to the seedy underbelly of the internet, where brave men daren't lurk. That's a word, daren't. They daren't lurk.
Yeah. But we daren't. Right?
Oh yes, we daren't. Indeed, my good man.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm talking about the anti-social media.
We are.
Get a load of this guy. Am I right?
This is why we can't do the podcast together.
Yeah,
we can't be sitting next to each other. It is too much, actually. It's better when we're separated by like 100 miles.
I think that's true. I think it's more efficient that way.
Yeah.
It would just be this every week. We can't have that. No. That's nobody wants that.
Yeah.
But today for this segment, it's a little bit different because both of us we looked for comments online side by side.
That's right.
Essentially. And as I kind of alluded to earlier in the episode, it took me a while to get to the good stuff, the funny stuff, because everyone is there. They were pouring their hearts out.
Mm-hmm.
And, once in a while, I think it's good to get a nice comment. And, I think I really do appreciate them. But there was simply too many of them for me. So, but finally I got some good stuff. And I think Connor took to Reddit. I went to YouTube comments.
Yeah. I did also get some from YouTube. I'll tell you when I switch over.
Okay, cool. So. All right, so we can.
I'll start.
Yeah, you can start. It's his birthday, of course. So
that's right.
He does get starting privileges.
Yeah, thank you. So it's not just because I said I'll start.
No, it's just
right. You were going to do that.
I was going to do that.
You were going to do
anyways.
That. Yep.
As a present to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, it's worth mentioning that show we said we went to, Eve 6 and Titus Andronicus, that was a birthday present that you got. So thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Well, I'm happy to do it. Yeah. It didn't need to be said, but thank you for thanking me.
I just don't want the audience to think the only thing you got me was like being able to read a YouTube comment first on a podcast, like you did give me a birthday present. So thank you for that. I love you, buddy.
Love you, man.
Okay. So I wanted to start with this one because this is referencing an interview that I saw several different comments bring up, just like separately. It seems to be something that people cite as like a source for what Billy's singing about and why. So it was kind of interesting because you'll also see some pushback. And so the first comment on Reddit, it's from _cats_period 3 years ago. They say, I don't think he's ever straight up said that he was coming out as bi. I recall interviews where he says it's about the natural questioning of your own sexuality when you're growing up. Then the response from Deleted says, nope, he said in an interview that it was about him being bi. And then they respond, I think we're both kind of right. And they read through selections from this interview. The 95 interview here is the one that I saw different comments bring up. So I'm just going to read this little blurb here. This is from a 1995 interview with The Advocates. I obviously a magazine or
I think
some
it's.
shit.
I think it probably is a like an LGBTQ magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does sound that way
Yeah.
then, doesn't it? So Billy said, I think I've always been bisexual. I mean, it's something that I've always been interested in. I think people are born bisexual, and it's just that our parents and society kind of veer us off into this feeling of, oh, I can't. They say
Okay, Ursula K. Le Guin.
yeah, yes. As we're reading through Left Hand of Darkness, yeah, it's funny. They say it's taboo. It's ingrained in our heads that it's bad, when it's not bad at all. It's a very beautiful thing. They mentioned this other 2014 interview with Rolling Stone about Coming Clean. Billy says, Coming Clean was a song about questioning myself. There are these other feelings you may have about the same sex, the opposite sex, especially being in Berkeley and San Francisco then. People are acting out what they're feeling, gay, bisexual, transgender, whatever. And that opens up something in society that becomes more acceptable. Now we have gay marriage becoming recognized. I think it's a process of discovery. I was willing to try anything. So, I did not do like research into like, oh, are these legit? But I saw other comments reference these interviews, like I had said. And this is kind of within the framing of, I saw several comments about some people being like, that's not really what the song is about.
Yeah.
And then other people being like, well, actually, like this is what Billy has said about
Directly from the author. Yeah.
So I think that's kind of worth just like putting out there up front, because that was something I came across wading through the comments of people being like, what's up with Green Day? Why are they talking about all this gay shit? Like, and then, you know, people are like, well, you know, this is coming from a place that Billy has explicitly said.
Yes.
About self-discovery and specifically about his sexuality.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. So I just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do want to say that yes, I think it's absolutely about his sexuality. I mean, him kind of realizing his bisexuality in particular. That's a personal thing to him, obviously, and he's never wavered from that. He's never wavered from that. That's what the song's about. However, and I don't know if it's that 2014 interview or a different one, maybe a little bit later on somewhere. I think. And I don't think this is my memory cheating me, because there's
been a lot of that on the podcast today, but let's hear it.
I do have a poor memory, but with Green Day though, it's usually pretty good.
That's true.
Like that's one of the only aspects of my entire life where I retain things.
That's a good point.
That's kind of been my whole life actually. It's pretty much just Green Day. And he was asked like straight up like, oh, this song is about bisexuality. Do you consider yourself bisexual still? And Billy said, I don't really think about it. I'm not sure if I consider myself bisexual still. I've been married to the same woman for 30 years.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's where some of the pushback is coming from too.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, it's not a question to him anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's an irrelevant kind of, like, it's not that he's disowning it or saying he's not bisexual or wasn't bisexual. It's just not like, his day-to-day life is not impacted by that anymore.
I get it. Like individually, in some ways, like Billy is like beyond post-sexual identification.
Yes. Yeah.
Like he doesn't think about defining his sexuality in that way because it doesn't really apply to it, or rather like, yeah, it's not something that he thinks about or needs to consider in the same way as a 53-year-old man.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's totally fair. But for the detractors out there and people who say, oh, it's not what it's about, you're just wrong. You're plain wrong. It's written all over in plain text. Get with it. Okay. So now this is a YouTube comment from Theodore Link 5837 from 13 days ago.
Oh, okay.
They say, my favorite Green DEI song. So instead of Green Day, it's Green DEI.
Green Dye.
But you know, DEI. DEI, like
was it diversity?
Diversity, equity, and
inclusivity.
Inclusivity, yes. Yes.
Got it. So they're
Which is
they're being a little smarmy. They're being a little bit of a fuck ass.
They're being a bit of a fuck ass.
Yeah.
Obviously, DEI is a very popular hot button topic these days. I mean, what was the first thing that happened when Mr. Trump removed all DEI from federal jobs? All these airplanes started crashing. We need DEI. It's literally gluing us together. Theodore, I don't want to read into your personal politics too much, but I would say reconsider some things.
Yeah, I think that's fair. We'll leave it at that. Not like I called him a fuck ass or anything. We'll just leave it at that. We'll be the bigger person and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, he's kind of a fuck ass, but maybe he can be redeemed. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, right. Okay. I guess I was kind of on a thing. So another thing was 3 years ago, TJ Dog 5 said, "Wait, really? I thought it was about drugs, LOL." Did you come across any comments where people were like, not realizing what this song was about?
Yes.
Or,
oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like there's comments like that on almost every Green Day song. Like, are there people out there who think every Green Day song is about smoking weed?
Yes.
I think there actually are people out there that believe that.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah, it is fun. It's almost like they named the band after it or something.
But that's why, obviously. That's it's all the name. So I mean, no, they believe that there's two different types of Green Day songs only. There's songs about smoking weed.
Yep.
Then there's also songs about very personal, elaborate, made-up stories about Billy Joel's life that they've invented in their heads that they think are true.
Yes.
Those are the only two kinds of Green Day songs that exist in them.
Yeah.
That's very funny. Every fucking song I see comments like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. It is. In this case, at first I was very quick to be like, wow, this is dumb. But then I was also saying when I was younger, I didn't think about the song that way just because I essentially I hadn't self-actualized. I didn't have those thoughts. I was fucking stupid. And that's what happens when you're a kid. You kind of start in a state of constant stupidity. And then, ideally you learn things and become better at inferring shit and asking questions and figuring things out. And so
yeah.
But all I mean is not only could it be that these comments are coming from people who are pretty young and essentially stupid, which is whatever.
Sure. We've been there.
But there is kind of this thing, I think, of clean connected to drug use as being sober, I'm clean. And so is there this idea of coming clean as becoming sober or choosing sobriety? Now, again, I feel at a certain point of I don't know, somewhere there's this meeting of you've had enough life experience that probably correlates to a certain age and you're scrutinizing and engaging with the art that you enjoy.
Yeah.
You're kind of going to naturally figure out what the song is about. But if those two things haven't intersected yet, then I can see why you're really?
Totally. And I mean, kind of being on the periphery of the Green Day story, maybe they're, casual fans, they know Billy Joe has struggled with drugs and sobriety and stuff. And so maybe just it's an automatic assumption, this song is about his him getting off drugs.
Right.
I can see that connection being made as well. So, you're not that stupid. Just do your research, dummy.
Grow the fuck up.
Yeah, grow the frick up. Next up, we have Yeah from 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They said, I just got the ad for Father of All twice in a row before this video. Not even mad.
Sweet.
They're not even mad because Coming Clean is so good. It erases all the stink that Father of All has.
Oh, I kind of hope that they just meant I liked the ad. I'm excited for Father of All.
I wish that's what it is.
You don't think it's that
I don't think that's what they mean. Because why would they even be mad?
Yeah, right. Right, they're commenting, I'm not mad.
I'm not mad.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
I think it's they're oh, I should be furious that I have to listen to this shit.
Right.
before
Twice
before a Stone Cold Classic. But Coming Clean is so good it makes up for it.
Yeah. I mean, one solution to that is getting better taste.
Yes.
The other is not listening to music on YouTube.
Or YouTube Premium, dummy.
This
Anyone who
episode is
doesn't
brought
have
to you by YouTube Premium.
It's way too expensive. Don't do it. It's not worth it. I am an idiot. Anyways, so I mean, maybe this person's feelings on Father of All have changed in the last 5 years. Probably not, but maybe. Anyways, you might not be mad, but I am a bit mad at the comment.
Fair enough. This was an interesting one on Reddit. This is from user Wally What's Its Face.
Oh, cool. That's a fun name.
The thread that they started, it says, I just got Dookie on vinyl and I noticed this little note under the lyrics for Coming Clean. Does anyone know what the story behind it is? And then, Connor, you'll see here underneath the lyrics, it says Tuesday night at Wirchel's.
Yeah.
Or Wirchel's.
Or Winchell. Is that not? I think it is at Wirchel's. Yeah,
Wirchel's.
Yeah.
So there are some comments underneath this that I think give some clarification, but have you heard anything about this? Or
this is nothing I've ever I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I've seen the booklet obviously, but I haven't ever clocked that before.
Yeah. So some people were just wildly speculating given the song. And user Young2112 6 years ago said maybe his first homosexual kiss / love. And it's like, maybe, but it's a pretty bold assumption just based off of like this note, you know, it's like, maybe. Literally one comment says maybe where he came clean. I don't know what that means.
Where he told his mom and dad that he was bisexual.
Yeah, right. That's where he came clean on a Tuesday night. But there was this one comment from the Secret Barn 6 years ago. They say Winchell's is a donut shop chain that's open late. No idea if that's what it's about, but it seems likely. Deleted user responds, I think he's definitely referring to the donut shop. That is / was a chain in Northern California. I've never seen it anywhere else, though. Ackerman 19 says they're in Southern Cali, too. I live near one. Noble Stewball says Colorado had Winchell's when I was growing up. Not sure if they still do. So I'd never heard this before.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it sounds like it is just a small reference to a donut chain shop in California.
Yeah.
And the surrounding area.
I think that's cool as hell. I mean, you know, maybe he did make some grand confession at Wirchel's late night while over donuts. That's possible. It is possible. I mean, it could just be a fun little nugget that, like, the Dookie artwork, obviously, as we know, it's chock full of little Easter eggs and references to the East Bay, California as a whole, and other little things that the band are into or friends of theirs. So I think it is just like a little Easter egg for that friends of theirs and fans can pick out. But yeah, I mean, it makes me think like the East Coast really needs a late night donut shop. Yeah. Like there's really, I mean, I guess like most Dunkin's are not, I mean, first off, Dunkin's, like, it's not like a cool donut shop. That's like a very generic, you're not really getting quality product there.
Nationwide, bottom of the barrel donuts.
Exactly. But like a real donut shop, like open late, that would coffee and donuts at like 11:30. That would be fucking awesome.
Yes. Imagine if we got out of that concert last night, Connor, and we stopped to get a fucking donut.
That would be awesome. That would be really rad. So just an idea for any listeners you're like, I want to open a business. I don't know what. This is it. That's it. This is your calling now to do that.
Similarly, you know, if there's any like donut shops or whatever, I would have no problems just like doing an ad read for donuts.
Oh no, absolutely.
Because I just love there's like certain things I'd have to think twice about, like, oh, I don't know if I wanna, you know what I mean? Sure. Like, come on, you know, we have integrity, you know.
We do, and we get offers too.
You're goddamn right, we do.
all the time.
And we turn them down all the time too. You want to know
Yes.
why? Because they're not about donuts. So
That's literally the only reason. We do have integrity, but really, we just really want to be sponsored by a donut.
please.
We want free donuts.
Yes.
That's really it.
That's the only reason we're doing
If
this.
we're being honest with you, it's all about donuts. We had a podcast called Donut Dudes that didn't really gain a lot of traction, so we
Mhm.
pivoted a little bit, but
it's still all about donuts at the end of the day.
it's still all about donuts to us. Anyways, next up we have a YouTube comment from Katie M59 from 5 months ago. Katie says, "This song is so skibbity."
Wow.
Now, as somebody who, you're familiar with the skibbity lifestyle,
I am, yeah.
would you consider the song skibbity or not?
No, I would.
Okay, it is skibbity.
Yeah, no, I think that this song is skibbity. I think I'm imagining Billy Joe with a low taper fade right now.
Yeah, because that's the thing that
It is.
they do.
Yep.
The kids do.
So I don't know.
Low taper fade. He's a low taper fade e-boy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Billy likes his cheese drippy. It's a thing.
Wow.
Trust me, Connor, it's a thing. I don't know what it means. I shouldn't be repeating it because it's like saying something in another language. Like you don't know if you're swearing or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying right now, but I can tell you that children know, and they are saying it. So
Is it? It's got to be like sloppy steaks, right?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
I don't think it's
All right.
like. I don't. Maybe.
All right.
Maybe.
Well, anyways, I mean, Katie, I would like to get your reasoning on why this song is skibbity.
Oh, I would love to hear an explanation.
Yes,
but I do agree. I do
Okay.
think the song's skibbity. I think skibbity's a good thing.
is it more of a feeling? It's more of a feeling or is it?
Maybe that's why we need the feedback.
That's why we need the feedback. Please email us. Tell us why Coming Clean is so skibbity.
Yes.
Any
other Green Day songs that are skibbity?
Yeah, because skibbity started with the toilet videos, right?
Yes.
That's where it started. Now it's just out of control.
Now it's just a word. Sooner or later, the Merriam-Webster dictionary is gonna be word of the year. You know,
that honestly will be. Yeah. Okay. That's something to reckon with.
Anyways, we are all gonna die.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel closer than I've ever been. And I am.
You're older now.
That's right. This user, this is still on Reddit, Guitar Theater 2 years ago. They said, "It's my coming clean day.
Nice.
I'm 17 and strung out on confusion." And then one person said, "Is it your birthday or are you coming out?" And Guitar Theater said, "Birthday. I've been out." And they said, "Happy birthday then."
Hell yeah.
Just thought it was kind of sweet.
That is sweet. Yeah. Yeah. That's a sweet interaction. I mean, good for them being out at 17, maybe they're not so strung out on confusion.
Yeah.
Good for them. Hopefully the song helped them. It seems like it did.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's awesome. Let's see. Got a few more. I want to be mindful of people's times. We're over 2 hours now.
Some of that's gonna get cut out, but yes.
True. This is a funny one. Ryan Levin says, "Where's my bisexuals at?"
Yeah.
And then Screaming Star 127 replies, "Here," with a smiley face.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
There were definitely a bunch of posts like that too. Where it would just be like, "I'm bisexual."
Yeah.
And the one, I don't know, for some reason it's got a kick out of me. Now, I was looking at YouTube too.
Yeah.
This is from Teku Wheeler 3548, 4 months ago. They said, "I'm straight, but I love this song."
I've got one like that in a minute.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Because I mean, you can be any sexual orientation can love this song, enjoy it, or be meaningful to you. This is a kind of sad or maddening one. This is Nerf Herder 936 from 10 months ago.
Okay.
Nerf
Good Star Wars reference though.
Is that a Nerf herder?
It is Nerf
Okay.
herder. Yeah, keep
Well,
going.
you're going to be disappointed by what they say.
Okay.
Nerf herder says Jesus loves you.
Yeah, Jesus of Suburbia.
So no one replied with that.
Yeah.
That seems like low hanging fruit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really does. Loki, the Acrocanthosaurus, replies, "Who is this Jesus guy?" Then Nadine Carnero 2000 says, "That's gay." So I don't know. Just
another
fuckhead.
I saw some comments of people who were taking the opportunity because Coming Clean, like the comment sections are going to naturally attract people from the LGBTQ plus a community.
Yeah.
And some people are just going to fucking suck because of that. And they're going to choose to come in and
it's like blood in the water to bigots.
Yes. So that whole it's like, I hope Jesus loves me. Jesus should love every queer person.
Exactly, everybody.
Everybody.
Otherwise, and we're talking about Jesus of Suburbia, of course.
Yes, exactly. So, I don't got to read through all these, but yeah, they were plenty like that. You
want to say 3 each left?
Sure, let's do it. I'll go a little fast. Okay, so this one was from Kiyu Liawan 5 years ago. They said ahead of their time with this one. And then Richard McDonald 5839 responded, "How? It's about being bi." but I get what they mean. It's just funny that they're like, how's it ahead of their time? It's just about being bi.
Some people just don't understand like the cultural progression of things. Like, it's like the same people that are like, racism? What?
Yeah.
That's been over since the 80s.
Right.
It's done now. Like, it's like, I mean, that's just a very like, even if you say that you're supportive of people living differently than you, or who are different to you, if you're blind to like the reality of their lived experiences currently, it's like you're not really an ally. You know, it's these people are it's crazy that they're real.
Yeah, they got blinders on.
They have blinders on. Yes.
I did want to mention that I agree. It does feel like a song that's ahead of its time. And it's not something I really always think about, I guess, but like within that whole like social context, to come out with a song like this in '94, I do think is a bold move. I do think that it's kind of shows their punk ethos. People love to point to Dookie as the sellout album for a bunch of reasons, but hey, it's got Coming Clean on it, and it feels like, looking through the comments, another thing I saw was like a lot of people kind of giving Green Day sort of like their punk cred in a way for being like, because it is true that for as much pushback as there is and as much ground as it feels like we're losing at times, like with the Trump administration and the rise of the, radical or the far right, it's also true that on the whole there has been more acceptance and more visibility of I don't know, different sexualities, queer folk, however you want to put it, and so I just came across a lot of comments of people essentially being like, hey, I know people give Green Day a lot of shit and a lot of people think they're lame in 2025, but look at what their output was like in '94.
Yeah.
I'm still listening to this song in 2025. This song means a lot to me as a gay person in 2025. And it's really cool that they came out with this song when they did.
Yeah,
because it would be easier to come out with it today.
Definitely. And I mean, even even still, I think it still speaks to them not turning their backs on this community. I mean, Bobby Sox was released last year, and Billy Joe is not, even if it wasn't originally intended as being a bisexual anthem. Billy has not shied away from that interpretation. So it's a testament to how they've just been there, been consistent for decades. So that's great. Next one I got is that it's just Robert Y2. Robert says, Hawk Tua.
Don't like it.
You know what?
Don't like it.
She apologized, Connor. Relax.
Yeah.
She apologized for the whole crypto thing.
You're right.
Scamming people out of millions.
It was pretty cool that we saw the Hawk Tua girl during the Central Park.
That was awesome.
Green Day show that she hosted.
That was a really great.
I gotta give it to her.
That was a really great duet. Like when she did that duet with Trey.
Yes.
That was like, I mean, I was blown away.
Yeah, I can't believe they sang Wonderwall together.
That was actually
crazy.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
They harmonized really well.
Man. Good stuff. Let's see here. Which one do I want to read? What about... Oh, this one I thought was kind of funny. This one was from 17 Seconds 3 years ago. They said, "You're all bisexual, and I'm just by myself."
That's good. That's funny.
I wasn't sure if they were like... It made me think of, obviously, like All By Myself. Like, is this a Green Day joke?
I feel like it's not. I feel like it's just like a dumb joke, but they could have made it a Green Day-ified if they said, "I'm just all by myself."
Yes, all by myself.
Like, you need that all. But,
that's true. Like, that's true.
But that's a clever comment, though.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Maybe a small missed opportunity, but
it's still a good one.
It's one of those, whatever.
So next up we have Chernov Fan 100 from 11 years ago. They say, I used to listen to this being transported in my carriage in 1867. Now I'm 162. What the fuck happened? LOL.
That one's way funnier.
I'm prone to believe this is not a joke. It's just the truth. That somehow
I didn't say it was a joke. I just think it's funny.
It's this 162-year-old person that loves Green Day, and I mean somehow they knew this song way back when. Maybe that guy actually wrote it originally.
Yeah,
and he composed it in 1865. Or
yes,
something,
yeah.
We just weren't privy to that. No. Final comments.
Okay, this is the last one I'm going to read. This is from Hanmer Lona 2 months ago. This is, I guess, I feel like this is maybe a way to like wrap up a lot of the sentiments that we saw. So this will be the last one I'm going to read. They said, "I've been a Green Day fan since I was a kid, thanks to my older brother. Grew up listening to Dookie with him. And I'm ashamed to admit that I didn't know the song was about bisexuality until, in all caps, this year, when I heard it live for the first time. Billy Joe was the catalyst to me understanding I was bisexual as a teenager, and all this time, the song was staring me in the face."
Wow.
I just thought it was nice.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, and again, like, I don't like it is not slapping you in the face with meaning, the song. It's like, you can be a Green Day fan and just not look into any of these peripheral sources, and not really, I mean, you can make a meaning for yourself, and that's great. It's not even necessary to know what the artist intended the meaning to be. It's yours. But it's cool watching somebody have that moment of revelation and be like, oh my God, it all makes so much sense.
Yeah,
that's really sweet. Yeah,
absolutely. And just look at us. Pretty much every episode. Even though like we're the Green dudes and I've been listening to Green Day my whole life, there's always like some line or lyric that I was like, I just didn't know what it was.
True.
And sometimes that does change the meaning of the song. Like, geez, when we were talking about When I Come Around, sleazing was it? I've just been sleazing my backyard, so don't get so uptight. You've been thinking, like, I was like, yeah, that felt like it added some shit,
Totally. No, I
Um,
mean, yeah, and it's a cool thing when that happens when you have a mini epiphany.
Yeah,
Okay, so I will end things with a short and sweet one.
please do.
We have Bondio from 3 years ago. Bondio says, "I'm straight as a line, and I still love this song."
You do you, Bondio. Yeah,
Straight as a line.
straight as a line. Oh, I thought you said a lion.
Oh no, straight as a line. Like a straight line.
Yes, yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Because
Yeah.
lions can be gay.
I've seen many gay lions out there.
Mhm.
I mean, we've seen The Lion King.
That's true.
We've seen the Mufasa movie.
Yes.
I
And
mean,
Scar and Mufasa are not biological brothers.
that's a very important. That's very important to the plot of the movie.
Considering what happens in
Yeah.
that movie,
Yeah.
it's very important that they are not.
There's actually like
Biological
there's actually like a warning that's posted before the movie starts that says, "Don't worry, these are not biological brothers, not even fictionally."
Mhm.
The
And they're also not real lions. So like anything you see, like,
It's actually not real.
They didn't
Yes.
get two lions to do it.
So they didn't do that together in real life. Honestly, if lions did that together in real life, that would be dangerous.
Yeah.
That would hurt the lions.
Safaris would be way different.
Yeah, very much so.
When Trey was filming those lions, his
Yes.
commentary would have been way different.
It would have been, and very similar to what we got actually.
Yeah.
And very much the same actually. So anyways, that concludes our episode of Green Dudes for the day. Connor,
Woo! Yuck, 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 yuck. Woga, woga, woga.
get a load of this guy. Am I right?
I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know.
It's
Comment
his
of the
birthday.
day.
It's his
Comment of the
birthday.
day.
Yes, it's his birthday. Oh yes, sorry, I forgot about that. Who wins the comment of the day?
This is so stupid, but I'm gonna give it to the like fucking vampire who's been listening to the song for 162 years.
Oh shit, yes.
That's my vote. I don't know.
We'll give it to Nosferatu.
That's my vote. You agree?
I agree.
That's okay.
It's Chernov fan 100. You win the episode. Please reach out. We will reward you handsomely, like we do for all of the winners. No one has complained so far. Thank God.
Yeah.
Connor, you have any final thoughts? Anything you want to say before we wrap things up?
I think we said all that needs to be said.
Agreed. Yeah. Dear listeners, thank you once again. We appreciate you. We love you. If you get the urge to, please go ahead and give us a nice review and a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and or Spotify. That would be awesome. You can follow us on social media at Green Dudes Pod on both Twitter and Instagram and Blue Sky sometimes when I decide to open up that app and remember it exists. If you want to tell us your come and clean story, you can send us an email at greendudespod@gmail.com. Love to read everyone's Green Day stories. It's very interesting to me. And most of all, folks, until next time, stay punk.